Shalom Aleichem, this is Rabbi Kovac's Mishnah Yomi is continuing for the 8th day of Adar Sheni, meaning we're just under a week out from Purim itself, and we are right now in the 8th chapter of Nedarim, Mishnah Aleph. Yesterday, at the end of chapter 7, we discussed some time-limited vows. Now in chapter 8, we're going to keep exploring how to interpret time limitations that a person puts on his neder. Konam, I'm banning yayin, wine. She'ani toim, that I will not taste it, hayom. Hayom, today. So how long is today? Eino aser, he's only forbidden, ela ad shetechshach, only until darkness, until shkia. Techshach just means darkness, it means shkia, means sunset. That is what people typically consider the end of the day, so whether he made his neder in the morning or he made his neder in the evening, it's only until sunset. What if he says Shabbat zu, this Shabbat? Now, colloquially, people would say Shabbat, they meant the week in which that Shabbat would fall. So they don't mean Davka on Saturday, Friday night, Saturday, they mean that week. Asur b'kol Shabbat, so he's forbidden from drinking wine or whatever he banned that entire week. The Shabbat and the day of Shabbos itself, she'avra, is considered to be in the past period of time, the time period of the neder. So if it's a Tuesday and he's taking a vow against wine this Shabbat, this week, then he'd also have to make Kiddush on something else, that Shabbat, because Shabbat would be included. We actually see this in common usage. People say, oh yeah, it's Shabbos Vayikra, and they refer to this is the week of Shabbos Vayikra as the week preceding that Torah reading, that Shabbos, not the week after. Back in the Mishnah, it says, Chodesh Zeh, this month. Asur b'chol chodesh, he's forbidden that entire calendar month. Rosh Chodesh lehaba, but Rosh Chodesh is considered to be in the future. So if his neder is only this month, then Rosh Chodesh is not included. Now this is interesting because like we had last week, sometimes there are 2 days of Rosh Chodesh. And as we discussed in Rosh Hashanah, which also discussed the topic of sanctifying the new moon and declaring Rosh Chodesh, when you have a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, that means the first day of Rosh Chodesh is actually the 30th day of the previous month, and the second day of Rosh Chodesh is actually the first day of the coming month. However, the way people talk, when they say this month, they don't include Rosh Chodesh, even if Rosh Chodesh of the upcoming month is actually starting on the 30th day of the current month. Shana Zeh, what if he says this year? Asur b'kol Shana, he's forbidden the entire calendar year. For Rosh Hashanah liati levo, Rosh Hashanah is considered to be belonging to next year already. Shavua zo, when he says Shavua zo, Shavua normally means a week. But in ancient times, it was understood Shavua actually meant the 7 years of the Shemitah cycle. Recall there's a sabbatical year on year 7, just like we have a Shabbos, a Sabbath, every 7th day. So too the Torah commands that the land rests every 7 years on the 7th year. So I say Shavua, so we're talking about this 7-year cycle. Asur b'kol Shavua, he's forbidden that entire Shavua. Ushvit she'avra. And the 7th year, the Shvit, the sabbatical year, the Shemitah year, is considered as belonging to the time period of the vow. The Imamar, now the Mishnah contrasts, but if he said Yom Echad, 1 day, Shabbat Achat, 1 week, Chodesh Echad, 1 month, Shana Achat, 1 year, Shavua Achat, 1 7-year Shemitah cycle, then Asur miyom liyom. He is forbidden from day to day. Meaning if it was 3 p.m. on Monday, he said 1 day, it would be Asur until 3 p.m. on Tuesday. If it was the 10th of Nisan in 1 year, the neder would work until the 10th of Nisan in the next year. Mishnah Bet, Ad HaPesach. His vow was until Pesach. Asur ad she'agia. So the vow is effective until Pesach arrives. The moment Pesach starts, the neder is over. Ad she'yehei, until it will be Pesach, Asur ad sheyetze. He's still forbidden the duration of Pesach. Because ad sheyehei, until it will be, implies until it's through. Ad lifnei haPesach, until before the Pesach. Now there's an argument here. Rabbi Meir Omer, Asur ad sheyagia. The vow is only effective until it arrives. Pesach is not included. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Asur ad sheyetze. Rabbi Yossi says he's forbidden, the neder continues until Pesach is over. In the Gemara, they discuss that it's sort of vague. This lifnei is a little vague, And so Rabbi Meir says when a vow is vague, we can't assume that the person wanted to include more, so we go to the bare minimum. Whereas Rabbi Yossi disagrees and says, yeah, people would say words even when it's a little vague, and we'll hold them to the more extended version of what that could mean. Yasher koach and sei gesund.